Sister Wives Bombshell. Kody Brown robbed emotionally as Robyn caught secretly dating another man. Hello friends, welcome back to Reality Recap. I hope you're all well and feeling blessed today. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. For over a decade, fans have been glued to the dramatic roller coaster that is the Brown family on Sister Wives. From joyful weddings and growing families to tension, jealousy, and painful separations, there's never been a dull moment. But now, a shocking twist may just be the biggest surprise yet. The word is out that Robyn Brown has been seeing another man in secret, under Kody's very nose. Yes, after all those years they've endured together, this news might break what's left of their powerful plural marriage. So what actually went down? Who is this enigmatic figure anyway? And what does it mean for Kody and Robyn, whose relationship has been on shaky ground to begin with? Let's get to the whole story, with insider details, heart-wrenching confrontations, and repercussions that could turn everything around. The calm before the storm, the Brown family has been hit with dramatic upheaval in recent years. Christine was making news in 2021 when she decided to leave the marriage, and soon afterward, Janelle and Mary followed. That left Robyn as the sole wife who remained by Kody's side, his last connection to the polygamous way of life they had shared. In public, Kody and Robyn kept up appearances, denying any trouble and even presenting themselves as closer than ever. Kody even declared during the season 18 tell-all, "She's the love of my life." But behind the scenes, things were far from perfect. As Radar Online reports from a family insider, Kody started becoming more possessive. His mood swings became erratic and he lost trust in Robyn. She thought she was finally getting all his love, the insider explained. But then he turned jealous, paranoid, and started trying to control everything. That's when things got weird. Almost a year after Mary and Janelle left, Robyn started going out alone, daily trips to a cute coffee shop downtown. Initially, she claimed it was just a means of unwinding and releasing tension. Innocent enough, but come midsummer, everyone began to see something strange. A number of witnesses reported catching sight of Robyn there on a regular basis, usually with a well-dressed, handsome guy. The pair appeared completely absorbed, guffawing, speaking quietly, heads leaning in. To one observer, it didn't appear to be merely conversation among friends. This fellow, reportedly named Marcus, is said to be a real estate investor. He first came into contact with Robyn when assisting her with some financial concerns. They supposedly hit it off immediately. She felt heard, a source described, for the first time in what felt like forever. Kody gets suspicious. Initially, Kody did not pay much attention to Robyn's regular visits to the cafe. However, he started observing things. She was dressing up more than normal, staying out late, and seemed more distracted. That is when the alarm bells rang in his mind. Another insider revealed that Kody started checking her phone, making pointed queries, even stalking her at times. He grew increasingly irritable and tackled Robyn again and again, but she remained firm in her tale. "I just need space," she said to him. "Why can't you trust me?" But Kody couldn't help feeling that there was something fishy about it. Caught red-handed, even after Robyn had repeatedly tried to reassure him, Kody had a bad feeling about the whole thing. So one spring evening, he took matters into his own hands. What he witnessed that night would alter everything. Under the watchful eye of multiple witnesses, Kody trailed Robyn to a high-end restaurant about 30 minutes outside Flagstaff. She showed up hand-in-hand with Marcus. One waiter who was on duty that night remembered they looked like a couple. Holding hands, laughing, certainly definitely not a business meeting. That's when Kody lost control. He stormed into the restaurant, shouting at Robyn in front of shocked customers. He was shouting, calling her a liar, a cheater, the waiter remembered. Robyn wept uncontrollably, while Marcus attempted to calm Kody down. It got out of hand outside. Witnesses claimed the two men were both face red, shouting nose to nose, until security had to intervene and pull them apart. The whole time, Robyn sobbed hysterically. Robyn breaks her silence. In the following days, Robyn packed up and left the home she shared with Kody. She reportedly moved in with close friends, needing space to process everything. To a confidant of one of her families, Robyn spoke of her side. "I never wanted any of this to happen," she supposedly said. "I was lonely. Kody hasn't been himself for years. Marcus just listened to me. He made me feel like I mattered again." Robyn claimed there was nothing physical with Marcus, but conceded there was strong emotional connection. "I wasn't hurting Kody," she whispered, "but I couldn't stay in that house. It was like being in prison." Kody's world crumbles. Kody was devastated at home, heartbroken and humiliated. One source spilled that Kody sacrificed 3 wives for Robyn, completely believing she was his soulmate. But now, that's totally shattered. Kody has been texting and calling Robyn around the clock. Some texts are laced with desperation, others with rage. He keeps alternating between pleading with her to return and blaming her for destroying the family, according to the source. On the inside, he knows that everything he ever believed in was a lie. As the standoff worked its way through the family, the responses were varied. Christine, who had long complained about Kody's favoritism, told a pal, "Karma always catches up with you." He made his decision. Now he's finding out what that's like. Janelle was more understanding, though not without her own perspective. Robyn's not entirely innocent, she told reporters. But she's been under a lot of stress. And quite frankly, Kody's been impossible to live with for years. Mary, who has remained largely quiet in public, merely shook her head and grumbled, now he knows what real betrayal feels like. So who is Marcus? The man in the middle of it all. He's sort of an enigma. Neighbors report that he is kind, friendly, and articulate. He looks to be in his mid-40s and just relocated to the neighborhood. He's not of the Brown family's religious movement, but folks find him to be grounded and genuine. Sources indicate that Robyn befriended Marcus through a common acquaintance when she was looking for assistance with real estate and taxes. One thing led to another. It wasn't planned, a family friend said, but the bond between them was impossible to ignore. After the explosive restaurant fracas, Kody has apparently begun talking to lawyers to see what his choices are. He's not only devastated, he's angry. He feels like Robyn owes him something, a source told us. He sacrificed so much, Christine, Janelle, and Mary, all because he thought Robyn was the one. Now he feels dumped. Others report that Kody has even gone so far as to reach out to Janelle and Mary, apologizing for the way things went down. But whether that's a sincere apology or an effort at damage control from the bad publicity isn't clear. In a very warm private letter to a close family member, Robyn allegedly wrote, "I never wanted things to go this way. I loved Kody with everything I had, but he stopped treating me like a partner. I began to feel like I wasn't even a person anymore." She explained Marcus made her human again. "He reminded me I'm still me, that I'm worthy of being loved and respected." Despite everything going on, Robyn still hasn't made up her mind. "I need time," she confessed. "I don't know if I can ever trust Kody again, but I don't want to hurt my kids either." When the news was announced, Sister Wives viewers were quick to hit social media. On Twitter, one commenter said, "Robyn was always painted as the bad guy, but perhaps she was trapped too. This is unbelievable." Another supporter chimed in, "Kody gave up everyone for Robyn and now she cheats. This is like a soap opera." Reddit responses were equally dramatic. Most users viewed this as yet another installment of Kody's downfall. One user commented, "Wouldn't be surprised if he's totally alone, blaming everyone except himself." But one thing hung over everything else: the children. Her kids are struggling to understand what is happening from a source who is close to the family. They're confused and hurt. They adore Kody, but they've also seen how miserable their mother has been for years. Robyn apparently explained to them that even if something happens between her and Kody, they'll still get to stay close with their dad. She's taking no chances. She just wants to do what's best for them and for herself, the insider said. Kody's been spotted around Flagstaff recently looking tired and upset. Friends say he's been telling them he doesn't know how things got out of hand this way. "I really thought Robyn would never leave," he allegedly told people. Now he's wondering if he drove everyone away. Maybe it's too late. he's been heard saying. As for Robyn, she's at a heartbreaking crossroads. She's conflicted, a close friend divulged. Part of her still loves Kody, but another part of her knows she deserves to be happy. For the first time in years, Robyn is reported to be feeling free, perhaps even alive again. And Marcus? He's taking a step back, allowing her space to make the choice. "I'm not going to pressure you," he said to her, the friend says. "But I'll be here if you choose me." And TLC? Up to this point, the network has kept mum about the incident. But a person in production close to the company confirmed they are already incorporating the drama into future shows. "This is straight-up ratings gold," he told us. "Fans had been waiting for the other shoe to drop, and now it finally has." The tables have officially turned for Kody Brown. For quite some time, viewers have criticized him for his blatant favoritism toward Robyn, often at the emotional expense of his other wives. Many believed he had already abandoned Meri Janelle and Christine emotionally, if not physically, to focus entirely on Robyn. But now, that reality has been flipped on its head. Sources close to production say that cameras are still rolling, and audiences can expect to see every bit of this explosive drama unfold in the upcoming season. According to one insider from the show, this may be the most jaw-dropping season yet. Everything the fans believed about Robyn and Kody is about to be flipped upside down, the source teased. Whether Robyn stays with Kody, chooses to move forward with Marcus, or builds a new life for herself and her children, one thing is absolutely clear. The Brown family will never look the same again. Sister-wife scandal, eviction and bankruptcy. Just when it seemed things couldn't spiral any further out of control, yet another devastating chapter has been added to the Brown family saga. According to sources close to the family, Kody Brown has officially filed for bankruptcy, and in a painful turn of events, Robyn and her children have reportedly been asked to leave the home they once shared with him. This bombshell comes after months of speculation about their worsening financial situation, increased tension, and the growing backlash from fans. Now it appears the rumors were true, and the consequences are beyond heartbreaking. So how did it all fall apart? Let's take a deeper look at the money troubles, fractured relationships, and decisions that ultimately led to this financial downfall, and what it could mean for Robyn and her kids. The beginning of the end years went by as viewers saw Kody battle and lose to keep his plural marriage intact. One after another, Meri, Janelle, and Christine departed, each complaining of emotional abandonment, bad money management, and lack of support. By 2022, Kody was left with only Robyn, both legally and spiritually. Early it looked like Kody and Robyn would finally achieve peace and singular focus they'd always professed to desire. But behind closed doors, their financial base was crumbling at a furious rate. A financial freefall. For years, the Browns had been living beyond their means. Decades of overspending, skipped property taxes, and hefty legal fees had started catching up with them. Even before the family began to unravel, they were barely keeping their heads above water, managing multiple mortgages across several properties. When Christine walked away, she reportedly took almost nothing. Janelle had to battle just to recover her investments. A source added that Meri was struggling too. But Kody and Robyn carried on as though nothing was amiss. They kept spending and they kept dreaming about turning their infamous Coyote Pass land into a family compound. That dream, however, never came to life. The property sat empty, no buildings, no income, just rising property taxes in the tens of thousands annually. The crumbling facade. For a while, the money coming in from sister wives kept things afloat, but not anymore. Fans started noticing a stark contrast. While Christine, Janelle, and Meri were living in modest rentals, Kody and Robyn remained in a luxurious Flagstaff mansion valued at over $900,000. How are they affording that while the rest of them are just getting by? One viewer asked online. The harsh truth, according to a family source, was simple. They weren't. The breaking point. Things hit a wall earlier this year. The The show's ratings were slipping, legal expenses were piling up, and the property taxes remained unpaid. Quietly, Kody began facing foreclosure. By spring, the debt collectors weren't just calling, they were knocking. He initially tried to keep the situation from Robyn, the insider said. But eventually, the truth came out. Robyn had believed everything was fine. She thought their connection somehow protected them from the chaos that had torn the rest of the family apart. She genuinely believed they were different. She had no idea how far in the red they really were. The bankruptcy filing. By late spring, Kody sat down with a bankruptcy attorney and made the gut-wrenching decision to file Chapter 13 bankruptcy, a legal step to restructure his overwhelming debt, but it came with a painful price. The house, their last symbol of stability, would have to be sold. It was humiliating for him, the insider explained. Kody always saw himself as the provider, the patriarch, but this time he couldn't fix it. Court records reportedly showed debts totaling in the hundreds of thousands. Delinquent mortgage payments, massive credit card balances, unpaid taxes, and costly legal fees were all listed in the filing. By early summer, the bankruptcy process was finalized and the fallout hit fast. Eviction day, a family displaced. One of the most painful consequences, Robyn and her children were served with an eviction notice. As part of the bankruptcy terms, the Flagstaff home had to be surrendered to help settle Kody's debts. On a sweltering summer morning, witnesses say Robyn was given 30 days to vacate the property. It was heartbreaking, a neighbor shared. She came outside sobbing. The children continued to ask, "Did we do something wrong?" The movers came. Boxes were filled. The life they had created together was coming apart in front of them. Kody, who was said to have been there when the notice arrived, was cold and callous. Repeatedly, he said the same thing. "It's not my fault. I did everything I could." Another neighbor recalled Robyn's response with clarity, shock, betrayal, and heartbreak. Robyn was incredulous. She pleaded with Kody to do something, fight for their house, make it all stop. But there was no fight within him. "Where are we going to live? What about our kids?" she asked over and over again, a friend said. But Kody never even looked up. He just sat there, in silence. Robyn felt completely abandoned. Everything had been given up by her, including her pride, her autonomy, and even her public reputation for him. Now she and her children were being cast aside like they were nothing at all. The children's pain, the most devastating chapter, yet perhaps the saddest aspect of this whole ordeal is how profoundly it's hurt Robyn's children. They adored that house, said one family friend. For the first time, they had a genuine sense of stability, of feeling grounded, and now they were being pulled uprooted once again. Neighbors remembered a poignant moment, Robyn's children assisting with loading clothes and packing boxes. One of the children even asked, "Are we going to be homeless now?" The neighbor explained that it destroyed them. "It broke me. It was absolutely gut-wrenching." Where did they end up? Following the eviction from the Flagstaff mansion, Robyn and her children are said to have relocated into a modest rental apartment on the outskirts of town. "It's nothing like what they had before," the source continued. "It's cramped, it's plain, and Robyn's embarrassed. She doesn't want to be seen like this. Friends say she's currently surviving with the help of extended family and close friends, trying to figure out what to do next. Outwardly, she's trying to keep it together for her kids. But internally, she's falling apart," one friend confided. Kody's mindset: denial, fury, and regret. As for Kody, sources indicate he's going down the tubes. His mood ranges from anger to despondency. One minute he's screaming, blaming everyone, the wives, the children, even the government, a close source explained. The next minute he's not saying anything at all. Friends are said to have seen Kody walking around the vacant Coyote Pass property, muttering to himself and looking totally lost. He still believes he can repair everything, the informant alleged. But honestly, he's already lost everything. How the other wives respond. When the other wives learned about Kody's bankruptcy and Robyn's eviction, each reacted differently. Christine, while saddened for the children, wasn't surprised. She saw it coming, said a friend. She's warned everyone for years. Kody was living too high. Janelle was blunter. He made his bed, now he has to lie in it, she is quoted as saying, shaking her head. Mary, though, came back with more empathy. As per sources, she reached out to Robyn personally to express her sympathy. I know what it's like to be thrown away, she reportedly said to her. Fan reactions, a mix of empathy and harsh truth. On Twitter, Sister Wives fans were merciless. One wrote, Robyn believed she won when the other wives left. Now she will reap the rewards. On Reddit, a highly voted post stated, this is what happens when you play with your own family like throwaway pawns. Nevertheless, most of the fans empathized with true sympathy, particularly for the children. They didn't ask for any of this, a viewer commented. Those children deserve so much better. TLC hasn't issued any public statements regarding the bankruptcy or eviction, but sources close to the show claim producers are already brainstorming ways to incorporate these real-life events into next season. It's the raw, emotional drama viewers can't turn away from, a production insider spilled. It's sad, but addictive. Will Robyn finally leave Kody? Now, everyone is looking at Robyn. Insiders report that she's emotionally exhausted, devastated, and at a critical crossroads. She feels dumped by Kody, one pal said. But she's also afraid she has no clue how to begin anew. Others think Robyn might ultimately leave and attempt to forge a new life of her own. She's beginning to see, the friend added, she doesn't have to sink with his ship. Kody's desperate bid for a comeback. To this day, Kody supposedly hasn't lost hope. Even after losing his home, his marriage, and much of his reputation, he's still holding on to the possibility that he can still turn his life around. One source said he's been bragging about authoring a book, making public appearances, or even starting a podcast. But as to whether any of it ever actually does happen, that's a big question mark. The Brown family's uncertain future. With the family fractured and their foundation destroyed, the future of the Brown family is more uncertain than ever. Say this may be the end of the family as Sister Wives fans once knew it. Kody thought he could keep Robyn and still preserve the family's name, a source said. But now he's broke and alone. A warning story now resonates among veterans of the show. For some, Kody and Robyn's collapse is an obvious lesson in pride and denial. They thought they were above it all, one fan shared online. But nobody can outrun reality indefinitely. Others do, though, hope that Robyn and her kids will finally be able to get some peace free from the negativity that's clouded their lives for so long. As one fan so eloquently put it, she deserves better, her kids deserve better. The picture of Robyn crying as she left the Flagstaff house with her children has become indelibly printed on the show's history. It was the last straw in a saga already burdened by heartbreak and betrayal. Now, the Browns have their largest challenge to date, to rebuild emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Kody and Robyn will either ride out this storm together or apart, but one thing is for sure, the Brown family will never again be what they were. Sister Wives in Meltdown, Kody's latest blowout. Just when things could not get any more dramatic, another explosive incident shook the whole family. Kody reportedly blew his top in a bitter showdown with Janelle and Mary after they goaded him into transferring the title of Coyote Pass. Inside sources indicate what started as a heated discussion concerning property rights soon devolved into a heated shouting match, driven by years of resentment, raw emotion, and historical grievances. Some familiar with the family feel this confrontation utterly destroyed whatever hope for reconciliation existed. Coyote Pass, the land that broke them all. It all started with Coyote Pass, a large piece of land in Flagstaff that Kody had purchased, envisioning a together family compound. He guaranteed at the time that every wife would have a house. He envisioned living in harmony, all of them together. But that fantasy collapsed. Christine walked out first in 2021, starting a new life in Utah. Janelle and Mary then left, fed up with Kody's favoritism of Robyn and his increasingly autocratic behavior. Although the breaks up, the legal and financial entanglements over the land still lingered. Ownership at issue. The last Coyote Pass showdown. Despite the emotional estrangements, one big question remained. Who owned what share of Coyote Pass? The property had been Kodys' dream, sold to all the wives, but was now at the heart of a contentious legal and emotional struggle for power. In early spring, sources say Janelle and Mary appealed to Kody, insisting on a sit-down meeting to iron things out once and for all. They weren't seeking handouts, just what was theirs. They poured years, money, and labor into that house, one source explained. They wanted their interests legitimized. Janelle, however, had put everything on the line. She even resided in an RV on the property, a testament to how much she believed in the vision Kody sold them to. She's worked her entire life, a friend added. There's no way she was going away with nothing. Mary, too, was finished with playing second fiddle. After years of sorrow, she wasn't going to let Kody dictate her future anymore. It was time to face him, the friend said. The showdown. Lines drawn at Coyote Pass. On a sunny, warm afternoon, the showdown happened. Janelle and Mary showed up together, with documents and resolve. Kody was waiting, standing beside one of the property's ancient survey markers. The mood was civil but laced with tension. They asked him to sign the deed a source shared. They said they weren't trying to start a war, they just wanted something legally binding. But Kody's mood reportedly shifted fast. "This land is mine," he snapped. "I paid for it. You're trying to rob me." Janelle reminded him that she'd invested tens of thousands into the property, funds she could have used to purchase her own house, but had instead given to him. Mary contributed that she'd waited long enough. She wasn't going to keep waiting anymore. She wanted her rightful share. Tempers explode, words that cut deep. As the tension rose, Kody's behavior allegedly became more erratic. Witnesses say he started pacing and shouting, throwing his arms in the air in frustration. He accused them of ganging up on him, a source said. He called them selfish and ungrateful. He even said they were tarnishing the family's name. That's when Janelle reached her limit. "You're the one who tore this family apart," she reportedly snapped back. Mary chimed in, stating, "All we're looking for is what's equitable. Why won't you see that?" Kody yelled back, "Because it belongs to me. This property is all I have left, and now you're going to take even that away from me." The brawl that rocked the neighborhood. The fight escalated to the point that neighbors in the area were drawn in. Evidently there was yelling, loads of it, said one neighbor. "I actually thought at one point I heard somebody crying." Another reported seeing Kody walk away but return a few minutes later and start up again. The drama was off the charts. Legal threats on the horizon. Insiders confirm that in the midst of all the upheaval, Janelle and Mary issued a stern ultimatum. If Kody would not comply, they insisted they would bring in attorneys. "They said they didn't want to take things into court," said one source. "But they were serious. They would, if that's what it took to maintain what was rightfully theirs." Kody laughed, but Janelle and Mary refused to back down. He didn't even take the threats seriously. One source reports he laughed and told them, "Go ahead, call your lawyers, see what that gets you." But Janelle and Mary weren't making idle threats. After financially and emotionally investing years, they didn't plan on leaving with nothing. Robyn's absence and its meaning. Nowhere to be seen in the chaos was Robyn Brown. She is said to have stayed home, insisting it wasn't her problem. "Robyn didn't want to get involved," one source said. "She said it was Kody's fight to handle." But Janelle and Mary's inner circle doesn't believe that. "She's always pulling the strings," one said. "She never wanted to share anything with the other wives, never did." There are those that say Robyn really encouraged Kody to hang on to the land, not for the good of the family, but so that he could maintain control. Aftermath and a shift in momentum. After the confrontation was over, emotions still ran high. Janelle and Mary departed visibly shaken but with determination. In accordance with one source, they left knowing they had acted correctly, and even if Kody doesn't sign, they're ready to battle. Kody, however, was left by himself, reportedly speaking to himself, appearing utterly defeated. Family reactions, vindication, and unity. Word of the showdown spread quickly among the family, and reactions were immediate. Christine, now blissfully remarried, expressed her pride. "I'm glad they finally stood up for themselves," she was reported to have said. Janelle's kids, who had long disapproved of the way their mother had been treated by Kody, were fully supportive. One of her sons actually said, "He's treated Mom like a doormat for years. It's about time she stood up to him." Even Mary's family members, most of whom had been outspoken critics of Kody, felt relief and pride as they watched her finally stand up for herself. Public opinion, cheers, and outrage. Sister Wives fans flooded social media. One Twitter user wrote, "Go Janelle and Mary, take what's yours. Kody doesn't deserve that land." Reddit threads reflected the sadness and frustration. That land always represented their marriage, promises made and never fulfilled. Another added, "It's sad that it ended like this, but let's be honest, Kody brought this on himself." And experts weigh in. What's next? By legal experts' accounts, the outcome of this land dispute depends on a few simple questions. Who's actually named on the deed? Can informal financial agreements hold up? If Janelle and Mary can document that they put money toward the land, one attorney said, they might have a strong case, but it won't be easy to prove. Kody's way of thinking, spiraling. During the days after the argument, sources report that Kody was in a brooding and paranoid mood. "He feels like everybody is against him," said one insider, "like they're trying to make a fool of him." There are even low-key rumors that Kody will attempt to sell the land outright, simply to keep Janelle and Mary from getting it. "He's that stubborn," the insider continued. "He'd burn it all down before he'd let them win." Janelle and Mary refuse to back down. And though Kody is resisting, Janelle and Mary are not going quietly into the night. "Not this time. They've had enough," said the source. "They're done being pushed around. And given all they've been through, it's obvious. They won't be leaving without their fair share this time around."